Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. It seems that it's not just me who's fed up to the back teeth with all the antics of the SNP and who gets angry on a semi-regular basis. I know a lot of you do too. But we are not alone. We are all in this together. And if you watched GB News this morning, you'd see that even the likes of Eamonn Holmes, that most genial of Irishmen, also gets angry about it. He was interviewing a guest. The guest lost her rag, going on about Humza Yousaf, about Shona Robinson, about Nicola Sturgeon, about the SNP in general, about everything that's wrong with them. And then even Eamonn Holmes jumped in and he had a go. You don't expect that from old Eamonn, do you? He's too nice usually. Anyway, we'll take a look at this, see why everybody is getting a good kicking this morning from GB News. And well done to them. Here goes. So, genial Eamonn Holmes brands Humza Yousaf as angry as a GB News guest goes on an epic rant about the SNP. And of course, epic rants about the SNP is what we do here. Claire Muldoon did not hold back with Nicola Sturgeon, Shona Robinson, Michael Matheson, Operation Branchform and Michelle Mone all in her sights. Well, there's a lot to be looking at with that lot. I mean, that is a collection of crooks, criminals, the inept, the stupid, the dangerous, the most awful people. A GB's News guest has delighted viewers with an epic rant about the SNP, with veteran broadcaster Eamonn Holmes also piping in. Journalist Claire Muldoon did not hold back as she hammered the Nats, with the First Minister, Shona Robinson, Nicola Sturgeon and Michael Matheson all getting it in the neck. And she also blasted the length of time Operation Branchform is taking. I did the video of that earlier, not only the time but also the immense cost, which I said is worth every penny if it results in those two going to prison, amongst others, of course. Anyway, she's talked also about Michelle Mone, whose PPE firm is currently under investigation. Asked by Holmes about the criminal justice system in Scotland, Muldoon fumed. "Where do I start?" she said, before referring to the SNP leader as Humza Useless, which we all do and have done for quite some time now, because he's absolutely useless. Anyway, she went on to say Yousaf isn't as good as Nicola Sturgeon in terms of the way he commands himself. Well, he doesn't, does he? She was a leader. He's not. He's a seat warmer. He's a cipher. He's not a real person. He's a racist. He's a fool. He's a moron. And he has no authority within the party. He says things and then they just go off and do their own thing anyway. Nobody listens to him. Must be most frustrating to wake up every morning, look in the mirror, see Humza Yousaf looking back at you and thinking, what fresh hell am I going in to deal with today? Anyway, Muldoon went on to slate Shona Robinson for trying to blame the UK government for cuts coming to Scotland, accusing her of ignoring Barnett consequentials, and especially when the UK government gives them the money to do this and this and this, and instead of doing this and this, they go, oh, we'll put it all in the central pot and produce nice shiny brochures. It's not what the money's there for, is it? She alluded to a Scottish Express story that the cost of Operation Branchform had skyrocketed to £1 million, as she called on outside agencies to come in and sort it out, as she branded the Tory peer Mone corrupt. Well, yeah, I mean, it's undoubted now. I think it's undoubted that the money that she nabbed off the taxpayer was, not for correct use. But also, I did say in the piece about the Operation Branchform that it needs to be basically taken over by Westminster. She said that the situation around the SNP finance probe was ridiculous and raged the sooner people in Scotland vote against the SNP, the better it will be for the people of Scotland. We've been saying that for 2 years now, since I've been doing this channel. Anyway, indeed for the people of the whole of the United Kingdom, she says. Whether or not you want independence, whether you think or not think independence is a good thing for Scotland, the SNP are not. Holmes then piped in, saying Yousaf always fascinated me. The Northern Irishman said the FM looks as if he's on a very short fuse, as if he's going to burst, adding, he seems quite angry all the time. But if you were Humza Yousaf, you'd be angry all the time. You'd be angry knowing that anything you want to do is unachievable. No, I mean, you have a list of things I want to do, your bucket list. None of it is achievable. Everything you attempt fails. You are a moron yourself, and you know you're a moron, and you've surrounded yourself with morons, and you rely on all policies coming from the Greens, who, by any metric you care to mention, are even worse than the SNP, then you can see why he's angry all the time. It would be enough to drive anyone to drink, except him, of course. But it's just unbelievable how bad the man is. Anyway, Muldoon then turned her ire on Michael Matheson. Oh boy, no problem with that happening. She's saying, I mean, Michael Matheson, the iPad, £11,000 he racked up. He threw his kids under the bus. What father, one, does that? And what politician, two, does that? She added, and this was confidential information that ought to have been used only for constituency work, and yet he gives it to his sons. I don't think so. Viewers loved the comments, with one social media user on X saying it was a delight to watch. She certainly has the measure of the SNP and truly understands that the SNP are failing to deliver for the people of Scotland. And another said, superb summary of the corruption going on in Scotland. I've got to say, those people, I hope they tune in and watch this channel, because we've got a lot more of that. And it's a lot. I can't even begin to tell you. Every day we do loads of these, because it's a never-ending river of sheer incompetence, buffoonery, corruption, crime, lies, hate, racism, bigotry, a detestation of everything that is decent. They push sexuality onto children. They want to erase women. And all at the same time, they're pushing a constant stream of pro-independence bullshit that the vast majority of Scotland do not want. They're doing so at great expense, having been told they don't have the competence to do it. And yet, it's everyone else's fault when things fail. No, it's enough of it. We've got to say enough is enough and stop. And she, Muldoon, is right. And I think that Muldoon needs to come and basically watch this channel a lot more. And everyone who watched that GB News and supported it needs to come and watch this channel a lot more. But hey, that's just me saying that. You have the sense to have already got here. And I do hope you press your subscribe button and the like button. Both of them help. We are a political channel. We get pushed down and need all the help we can get. Anyway, I shall stop there. I shall come up and we shall round off. But absolutely right. Claire Muldoon, we back you. You say what we say. So we're on the same page. And we know he is a very angry and stupid man. Coming up. Now, there is the saying that you can't fix stupid. And I quite agree. You can't. You can't fix stupid. But there's no reason to elect stupid to high office. And yet, people who are, astounding as it is, even more stupid than the SNP politicians are the people who vote for the SNP politicians. Boy, you've got to be pretty thick if you're looking at these people and thinking they're intelligent. I mean, your average SNP politician is very, very much to the left of the bell curve when it comes to IQ. So how bad have you got to be to think that they are towering geniuses of, ability and confidence and, just sheer intelligence, when most people see them as being as thick as champ? Then they do say, though, if you think about how intelligent the average man is, remember half the world are less intelligent than that. And they vote SNP. Anyway, we shall finish there. Thank you very much for watching this. I've enjoyed this one. I don't know if Eamonn Holmes feels like that about everyone, but I think he's got it spot on with Humza Yousaf being an angry man. But then, much, I suppose, to be angry about. Till next time, stay safe, stay well, keep watching, and until then, goodbye.